Good morning, good evening, gigabytes. My name is RAMGamer and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. Today we are going from Kerbin to Jool. I am recording this voiceover in pre-production because this took such a long time to actually do. To get to Jool, I think it took me almost 3 hours. In the middle of this time lapse, there is going to be a jump because I did manage to lose some footage. Anyway, on screen now you can see me getting to that 45-degree angle to get myself into orbit around Kerbin. There's a nice view from the spacecraft. Oh, and there goes my outside boosters. You see me now checking to see where my, when my apparatus reaches 100 meters above Kerbin's surface. And you can see on the ship, when it comes back, there we go, you can see on the ship, there is that shell casing, protective shell casing. You won't actually see what's inside there until we get to Jool. I think you can probably guess, though. I say we're going to Jool. We're actually going to Tyloo, which is a moon of Jool. Okay, so we are about to start the burn in about 30-odd seconds. At this point, I do have mechanical jeb installed, which is a fantastic mod. I don't actually use it yet. I use it when I'm actually in Jool's influence to get myself around Jool. You can see mechanical jeb open on the side there. By the way, all the music that is being used in this time lapse will be in the description below. So here you can see me trying to get an encounter with Jool, which takes me several attempts. But eventually I do get it. Is this it? Oh, no. This is me now trying to adjust. Nope, there we go. Give it up on that one. Hang on. Here we go. Am I going to get it this time? I can't remember how many attempts it takes me. Oh, that was the fail attempt. Oh, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I had a fail attempt before. I am now actually going around. At this point, yes, I remember. At this point, I checked on a website to see at what point Jool needed to be to... Yeah, let's just say... At what point Jool needed to be before I could actually get that encounter right there, which I have just got. And I love how the estimated burn at this point says NA, not applicable, because it doesn't know yet. But I soon find out that it is in fact 8 minutes, I think it was. Oh, 1 minute. Oh, whoops. Whatever. Even in time-lapse mode, this looks very slow. This is sped up to about 50 times, so this burn looks slow in time-lapse mode. It was even slower to actually do. Oh, there's the maneuver node trying to change and mucking up something up. There we go. There's the encounter we wanted with Jool. Say one last bye-bye to Kerbin, Kerbals, because you're about to time warp to Kerbin, to Jool even. And that's what's inside that protective shell. It is a lander, of course. We're going to get one person in there now. Oh, no, well, we're extending the panels and extending everything first, and then he gets in there. Or she, in fact, 'cause this is Valentina. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There it is. Well done, mate. Next is Bill. And obviously we can't get the other one in there because it's only a two-man landing can. So at this point, we say bye-bye to Kerbin. And we start time warping out to Jool. And now at this point, I noticed a problem. Wait, where's my encounter gone? I don't have one anymore. I didn't sub into the fact that when you're leaving Kerbin, you're gonna have a slight jitter in the way the periapsis and aparaxis goes around the sun. So I lost my encounter with Jool, and you can see me trying to, for the life of me, trying to get connected with Jool, but unfortunately I can't. Oh, I just detached myself, and now the one problem is oh great, two Kerbals in the lander and one Kerbal, which is Bill, is in the orbiter. So I gotta get either the two Kerbals out of the orbiter into the the two Kerbals out of the lander into the orbiter, or the other way around. Now I was going to originally go with getting the one person out of here into the lander, but I've got to get home somehow. I'm gonna get back to Kerbin somehow. So the lander doesn't have a heat shield on it. The orbiter does, because that was the one that was originally meant to come back home. So I had to get both the Kerbals out of the two-stage lander in here. You did see me before enable infinite fuel. This was because I felt bad for these guys. I just got them into an encounter with Jool, and then forgot to sub in the fact that all that rigmarole, and now they're stuck in space, so I wanted to get them home. Oh, now we've just switched over to the two-stage lander, trying to get this guy now closer to the orbiter, burning a bit then. I am about, there you go, there's that detached, and obviously infinite fuel means that'll go on forever until I disengage it. Oh, I accidentally detached the outer engines, but in the long run that does help me. It means less weight because less fuel, and I'm using infinite fuel, so hey ho, it doesn't really matter how much fuel we have on board. I was originally gonna try and dock it back onto it, but no, I can't dock to save my life. I have mechanical jeb. Problem is, guess what? Forgot to put mechanical jeb on the two-stage landers, so that wasn't gonna happen. And and there we go, missing it. Now there we go. There we go. Now we're in perfect view with it. Now what I did then was I did a flyby of it and just made him jump out and fly towards it, and it worked. Next problem. Now this thing is going even further away and burning. Oh my god, that was close. Now we're going very, very slow towards it in an attempt to make this guy also jump off. There we go. Now the two-stage lander has no one in it. So we are not going to be able to control the two-stage lander at all. So next, we're either going to try and get an encounter with Jool, or we're going to try and bring our orbits right the way around into Kerbin's atmosphere. I was going to try and do the Kerbin atmosphere thing, as in getting it back around the sun to get back into Kerbin. But, as you're about to see, that wasn't going to happen. It probably would have if I'd done it about there and then burned at the periapsis, but I didn't think of that during recording. I just thought of it now, so yeah. There is an encounter with Kerbin? Did I actually I got an encounter with Kerbin? I don't remember this. Oh, and then I realised how long the burn is. Yeah, I remember now. Realised how long the burn is. And I do try. In fairness to myself, I do try. But unfortunately, in fact, yeah, there's the encounter that I get, and now my thoughts are, hang on a minute, if I get into a orbit around Jool, so if you get into an orbit around Jool, you physically stopped yourself from going outside the atmosphere, which is outside the solar system, which is perfect, because that's what I want to do. I want to get back to Kerbin. And then what you can then do is burn out of Jool, which will then put you back into Kerbin, which is the whole point of what I was trying to do after this point. Because it no longer turned into a mission of getting to Tile, it now turned into getting these guys back home to Kerbin. And there is the periapsis coming back around. And at this point, I realize, oh great, I'm too high. I need to be about there. And there's the burn happening. Next, I have to burn at the periapsis to get my orbit around Jool. Because at this point, I'm just entering Jool's influence and just going straight back out of it. And in the same problem I was before. Got a red light flashing, which I never found out what it was. Now I'm burning a bit sooner than periapsis, because I really wanted to get them in this, because if I miss that periapsis, then yeah, basically they're dead. I'd like to point out at this point they have been in space for 1 year. Poor buggers. I put them through hell during this. So now we come back around here, and this is the thumbnail shot. Hello! Thumbnail shot there. I don't Photoshop all my well, most of my thumbnails are, in fact, what I'm on about. So now we are burning out of Jool and trying to get that all-important encounter with Kerbin. Eventually, I just get into the same height orbit as Kerbin and plan to then make my orbit come down further from the point it is at Kerbin's orbit, which is the periapsis, I'm pretty sure, yes. And then hopefully get an encounter with it. We'll see what about to happen. There's the maneuver done. Say bye-bye to Jool. There's Jool going. Still there. We can still see it. We can still see it. No, we can't. And there's Jool going away. So we briefly visited Jool. We didn't get to land on Tylo like we were meant to, but now we're going back home. Now I'm trying to use the mechanical jeb to calculate my orbit. I clicked the wrong button at first. I clicked to the suicide node, which wouldn't be very nice. I've now got to... I accidentally activated mechanical jeb to do a burn, which wasn't meant to happen, but did. And I've now used Mechanical Jeb Orbit Calculator to actually calculate my maneuver to get in roughly the same influence as Kerbin. So at this point, the maneuver node is coming up. There's the maneuver node. I am using the warp helper in Mechanical Jeb to get me exactly on that maneuver node. And then the rendezvous planner is then going to do the maneuver for me there. It's activated now. At this point, I'm still using infinite fuel because I really want to get these guys home. And there it is done. It gets it exactly on, which I love. But I continue burning manually because I want to get below Kerbin's orbit. Because the closer you are to the central celestial body of a solar system, the faster you go around it. The periapsis then I burn to make the apoapsis go smaller, so I've got a much smaller orbit than Kerbin has. Because I'm traveling faster around the sun then. And there, come on. I'm trying to get into roughly Eve's orbit, so then I can use the KSP calculator, which is online, which I'll link in the description below. I can use that then to calculate my orbit and whereabouts Kerbin needs to be in relationship to Eve in order to get an encounter with it. Because at this point, what's going to happen is, say I burn at the apoapsis, I'm going to then have to bring it around the sun and almost go past the sun to slingshot around the sun to hit Kerbin. But at this point, I don't do that. I'm just trying to get a node that'll actually hit. Because these guys have been up in space now for 4 years. Their families haven't seen them for 4 years. They need to be seen by their families. Their families probably miss them. Because transmission... I haven't sent one transmission from this ship yet. I don't even send one transmission, so... For all the families know is these guys are dead. At this point I realise, oh wait, the reason why I'm not getting a counter is because my orbit is too high. So I go with what I've got there, do that burn, which is about to happen. There it is, right by there. There's it happening. I do this burn and thinking, right, if I burn at the opposite side to where my closest encounter to Kerbin is, I should be able to get it roughly to where Kerbin is. Getting in the sphere of influence of Kerbin. Takes me a couple of attempts, but eventually I do get it. Eventually, where is it? Oh, no. Oh, there it is. Eventually I get the encounter that I want. I then have to warp, but I use the warp helper, which gets me to there, and then the burn to get them home happens. There it is. So now I'm doing a stupid plonkers mind thinking, oh, I can't be bothered to warp. I got this warp helper, so let's activate it by setting a maneuver that's closest to the encounter. And let's just say this happens. It decides to make me warp past the maneuver. For some reason, Mechanical Jeb goes past the maneuver. And obviously now I'm outside of Kerbin once again. I'm stuck in the same problem that I had before. I can't get back to Kerbin. So here comes the maneuver things again. I have to try and get those nodes together, which doesn't happen at that point. I now have lost the Kerbals. Or have I? I'm trying my life to try and get these guys back in that sphere of influence of Kerbin. I'm almost at the giving up point, but I say to myself, no, I'm gonna get them here. I want to get them home. So, I keep trying, and I keep trying. And at some point, I go with the node that I have and try and do the same thing I did before. That's the point. There it is. I don't use the warp helper this time, as I don't trust it anymore. Oh, I do. Now I'm being a stupid plonker again, am I? There we go. There's the warp helper coming in. And it works this time. Oh, 2 hours. Oh, there we go. And it's burnt. Now, again, trying to get those nodes together. And there it is. There's the encounter we wanted to get them back home. For the second attempt. Take 2. Here we go. Maneuver activated. Burn, go. And mechanical jump, thank you very much for doing that. And here we go. Around the sun. This time I'm not using mechanical jump, I'm doing it myself. And there we are. We are now in Kerbin's sphere of influence, not atmosphere yet. We're nowhere close to the atmosphere yet. Because at the moment, we'll just skip straight past it and go back into the same problem we had before. Unless I do this all-important maneuver, which will shoot us right past it again. But after I've been next to the periapsis. At that periapsis then, I can make my apoapsis then go out of the sun and come into Kerbin. Which I do wrong to start with. I do horribly wrong. I do that. For some unknown reason, I didn't think of grabbing the green node to get myself around Kerbin. But, hey ho. There I do it. There's the encounter. And in we go. Oh, missed it. Oh, never mind. Let's just burn anyway. Mechanical Jeb likes to shake them around. And the orbit is coming around. Very much coming around. And there it is. And a lovely view of Kerbin there. A lovely view of Kerbin. And now that all-important crash maneuver. There it is. This is in real time now. So that all-important crash maneuver to get myself crashing into Kerbin. Obviously, I don't want to crash. I just want to get in the atmosphere and then I'll land. And there's the burn happening. And now we decouple that engine from there. We disable infinite fuel. And we rotate to face the planet. Because we need that heat shield to be facing the planet. Else, in fact, I will die if that happens. Because obviously if the heat shield isn't facing the planet, your craft is going to have a lot of heat going through it. And it will explode, which has happened to me quite a few times. Forget to put the heat shield on, it gets back to it and thinking, oh god, I didn't put a heat shield on it, did I? And then explodes. Anyway, coming back down into Kerbin's atmosphere now. Let us speed this back up. Let's speed it up now. And it's a very nice touchdown onto Kerbin. I will now hand over to myself in the live commentary for the outro. Thank you very much, recorded Richard. So, thank you very much for watching this episode of Kerbal Space Program. We went to Jool. Some things happened. Yeah, a lot of things got blown up. We almost lost Bob, Bill, and Valentina, but we didn't. We got them back to Kerbin, even though we were using some cheats, but still, we got them back. So, if you want to see more videos like this, which I'll try and not to cheat in them, but I felt bad for these guys. I didn't want to kill them. But if you want to see more of Kerbal Space Program and things like this, then hit that like button and that subscribe button. Hashtag become a gigabyte today. And remember, guys, keep your RAM high for more gaming experience. And I'll see you guys in the next video.